I promised you another action that will be even better. It's a bit heavier and a bit more complicated. It might be complicated in the way it looks, but we're going to explain you that. I'm going to explain you that. So this is the action which I call no time retouch. It was as a part of my other course. Let's play it. The first part looks very similar to the regular basic frequency separation action, but you can actually see the first information is the same, so we doing the same values as before, similar values. Hit OK, and soon the rest of the fun will begin. As I know, all of the other actions are applying, and as you can see in this action I'm already copying the low frequency, and this is the heavy part. Have a look how the action is building up. Of course we're going to create this action just in a second. And what you can see, I applied another information. In Gaussian blur dialog, choose radius that softly even out the skin, shadows, tones. Remember that the radius will be different for each image. So similar information as before, but this is the important message that I applied. Softly even out, we can skip skin, shadows, tones. If they are too strong, of course. And what you can see, this layer here is changed as a smart object. We're going to talk about this as well. I'm going to hit continue. And already I'm going to set this value. I don't want this too strong actually. I'm not a huge fan of too strong effects. It's going to destroy the image. So keep this at radius 22. Hit OK. And right now I'm already covering this. And that's it. Have a look. Smart filter is applied. As a smart filter, there's Gaussian blur. About this layer mask, I'm going to make this white right now to show you how does it work and why I applied smart filter into this. Because I can open my Gaussian blur and manipulate this every time I want. Beautiful thing, isn't it? So whatever you're going to apply, you can change this later, and that's the real power of this action. Of course, I'm not going to do detailed retouching once again. Of course, you remember that you have to do this, but just quickly going to paint as before in the areas I think that needs to be a bit even out for this kind of image. Of course, remember, for beauty image we're not doing this, but we're going to talk about beauty images as well, as that's something which is my main area. My main area is actually beauty images. I didn't notice the flow was too small, and if you are in my other courses you actually can know that what I was doing was mostly beauty images, but I decided just to go into the action course, as I know people love the actions, people want to speed up their workflow. So I believe that will be really great for everyone, whoever do beauty or just regular portrait photography. Here would be too much. We want to keep the shadows. That's very important. Don't ruin the shadows. Let's go to the hands. So that's how it works. I did this just quickly. Have a look. Before, after. You can see the change. The skin is even out. About the other things, I would only work as before to cover the spots. And that would be actually end, except that I could work with the tones just in between. But okay. So now, how we create this action and how we apply this smart object. We'll start the same as before actually. So I'm going to create a new layer just to make a stamp, because I always prefer to work with a stamp. I'm going to press Ctrl Command G. This one I'm going to call A, and this one also as an A. And I'm ready to create an action right now. So let's close this and let's go back to our retouching actions. And this will be also 16-bit FS. So I'm going to press create new action. And this action will be 16-bit FS plus, because this one is more built, so that's why I just decided to call this that way. And let's start recording. Record. And similar steps as before, so I'm going to do this a bit quicker. Stamp on the top, duplicating. This layer will be high, high, low, creating new layer, or we could actually right now already duplicate, so it doesn't make big difference. Duplicating and now, of course, I'm going to blur out this layer. So I'm going to make it invisible. We need to apply the stop, insert stop. I'm going to copy this. Once again, as before, allow continue. Okay. And now we can blur this out. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. The same as before, just universal, but we have the information, so everyone will be setting on its own. Hit OK. Go back to high. Image. Apply image, and all of the information are already the same as before. So I'm just going to hit OK in this case. And now all of the fun begin, because this time will be a bit more things. Linear light. And now I'm going back to my low layer. And this low layer has to be copied. Control or Command J to copy this. And right now I'm going to hit right and convert this to Smart Object. What Smart Object allows you to do is to change the effect you applied in non-destructive way. If we will not create a Smart Object, and once we apply the blur, we cannot change this anymore. And thanks to the Smart Object, we can change this and our image won't be destructed. It's about every effect you're going to apply in Photoshop. It's really worth to work with Smart Object. So what I'm going to do now, we need to apply another information because we will be blurring out. I don't remember the text very well, so I'm just going to stop this for now. Stop this. I'm going to have a look how was it before. My text was the second stop. I'm going to copy this, okay. And I'm going to come back to where I was, and let's start recording again. So, insert stop. I could of course apply any text, but I want to do this right way. In Gaussian blur dialog, choose radius that softly even out the skin shadows tones. Remember that radius will be different for each image. Once again, allow continue, hit OK, and now filter, blur, Gaussian blur. I'm going to set up just something universal right now. Around this, hit OK, and the effect is applying as a Smart Object. You're going to see this. We can change this anytime. We can make it also invisible. Great thing. The thing we have to do right now, create a layer mask and invert the color. At the end, create a new layer as a tones. I'm going to call this tones and do selection of each. Low, low copy, tones, high, Control Command G, and I'm going to call this 16-bit FS plus. That would be it. To finish, of course, we have to apply stop to this Gaussian blur and to previous Gaussian blur. I hope I recorded everything clear. That's our FS plus. Remove this and let's play our action. Once again, continue. Hit OK. That's something universal. And it looks just perfect. And we are ready to work. So right now, we already made 2 powerful retouching actions. Now we just have to do the same thing for 8-bit. I'm just going to apply the values for 8-bit. And we already will have 4 retouching actions.